Hi, I'm Jean Grossbeck with Coldwell Banker Island Living, and our guest today is Tim Hance with All Islands Home Inspection. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
This is part two of our video on some things to look out for when you're purchasing an older home, and we're talking about homes pre-really 1950s, the real older ones that we have around, and some of the issues to be aware of. We've already talked about knob and tube wiring. We've talked about asbestos in our prior videos, so make sure you listen to those. Today what I wanted to ask you about is on some of the older homes we have the old post and pier foundations, and some of the homes actually have floors that slope. So I know that we have different kinds of wood destroying organisms. Can you tell us a little bit about what things a buyer needs to be concerned about? What kind of damage do you typically see, and what do you recommend?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thanks, Jean, very much. Older homes generally, you can see sloping in an older home, and it doesn't necessarily mean the end of the world for an older home. Older homes were not built to the rigid construction standards, modern construction standards of today, and they can be the typical post and beam foundations as opposed to today's more modern slab or continuous perimeter foundation, which is definitely more substantial. But a lot of older homes have done what we call withstood the test of time, or maybe they haven't, and if they haven't, it's your home inspector's job to determine whether or not the home has issues or not. So back in the day, foundations were not ventilated to the extent that they are today. And as we discussed in a previous video blog, Wood Destroying Organisms, elevated and excessive moisture within crawl spaces can lead to conducive conditions for wood destroying organisms, namely anobid beetles, carpenter ants, and what are called damp wood termites. And these can, with excessive moisture in the wood joists of the home or in the structural elements of the home, can lead to conducive conditions for them to thrive. And once established, wood-destroying organisms can cause significant damage to the structural timbers of the home, especially in older homes before we had the advent of pressure-treated lumber and timber. When your home inspector goes into your crawl space or your attic and discovers wood or structural elements that have been damaged by wood-destroying organisms, what we have to recommend is repair and replacement by a qualified contractor. So if you have a beetle-damaged structural post or a beetle-damaged floor joist, that really should be replaced because it's the structural capability of that member has been compromised. The extent to which is unknown because it can be very pronounced, and your inspector will likely have pictures of it, and really should be further evaluated by a qualified contractor. This can lead to issues, structural settling. You can see signs of structural issues within the sheetrock or the plaster of the home, which could be the result of compromised structural timbers or even foundation settling.
So if someone is purchasing an older home and they've had the replacement done, do you recommend that they get a follow-up treatment with a pest company as a regular maintenance item, or once they get it corrected, is that all right?
It depends upon the wood destroying organism. If you have carpenter ants, then I generally recommend that it be further treated by a qualified pest control specialist. If you've eliminated the conditions that are conducive to wood destroying organisms, then you've eliminated the environment in which they can thrive and survive, and so it should not become a further issue for you. But with carpenter ants, it's important to treat the carpenter ants and get them out, and then eliminate the conditions that are conducive to their thrive.
Most of the inspection reports that I've seen, the old post and pier foundations are where we see the damage. Are there other parts of the home that we need to be aware of? I assume, certainly kitchen floors and stuff, but second floor, do you see those types of wood destroying organisms in other parts of the house that do significant damage?
Right. No, it's a great question. You can see wood destroying organisms and damage caused by these beetles or carpenter ants or termites anywhere where you have excessive moisture. Moisture can present from plumbing leaks in the roof, inadequate ventilation in the attic, inadequate ventilation and standing water within your crawl space, improperly ventilated crawl spaces. So generally, wherever you have excessive moisture can be a place where wood destroying organisms can thrive.
Great. Well, that's good information, and certainly something that makes sense to be very proactive because they can do a lot of damage very quickly.
Absolutely.
Great. Well, I'm Jean Grossbeck, Coldwell Banker Island Living. We are providing these video blogs to help buyers and sellers be more informed about the real estate transaction. If we can help you, please call our office. Our agents are here from Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5:30, Saturday from 9 to 5, and Sunday 10 to 4. Our phone number is 360-293-4511. And Tim, how can they reach you with their questions?
My name is Tim Hance with All Islands Home Inspections, and my phone number is 298-1163 or allislandsinspections.com, and I'm available 24/7, 365.
Thanks.
You're welcome.